Hey, happy 4th of July, everybody. From the fireworks, to the great patriotic costumes, to the patriotic decorations, to the patriotic just everything, the food, the layouts. We also get horror movies. And some of these horror movies, though good, some can be very meh, and some can be very blah. But today we are going to be talking about the horror movie President's Day. So basically the movie's about a high school election that's going on, and a killer dressed like Abraham Lincoln is going around and axing off all of the candidates in this election. Now, I heard about this movie long before I actually got it on Blu-ray from Horror Pack, but I actually heard about it from Sean C. Phillips, who actually stars in the movie as one of the kids. He's not like in it a lot, but when he's in it, he's a lot of fun. He's really cool to see. He's just one of those guys. And I have to give him a shout out because I'm someone who went through a weight loss. Congratulations, man. That is absolutely fucking fantastic. But besides Sean C. Phillips in this movie really does not have that much going for it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is actually the Abraham Lincoln killer who is just going around killing these kids. And not only is the reasoning kind of odd for him to be killing them, but he just feels like a waste. The mask isn't even scary. He walks around with an axe. He's just not really scary at all. And some of the kills are pretty creative, I'll be honest, but the thing that really holds this movie back are also the performances by some of these kids, who I feel like are even a lot older than high schoolers should be. Like, I feel like some of these guys are in their, like, late 20s playing these high schoolers, and it just doesn't work. They try too hard. They really try too hard to be serious. And even the adults who are in this movie, like, who are playing the older people, like, the older people who are acting in this movie, they're not as cringeworthy, but some of them can be. There's no real good performance in this movie, and I think that's why I hold Sean C. Phillips higher than any of them. Because of everybody in this movie, he feels the most self-aware of how silly this movie really is and the budget it's on. Like, his death is so over the top. He is getting his limbs chopped off. He is screaming all bloody hell. He is perfect for the movie. He really fits everything that they are trying to go for. He fits the tone really well. I'm not going to pretend this is a great movie. This is a very, very bad movie, and Sean C. Phillips could not save it. But if there's any consolation, he made it a lot less painful when he was on screen. An hour and 20 minutes is way too long for a movie like this. It drug, and it had so many pacing issues. I was ready for it to be over. I'm not kidding, and now I'm just going to sit here and ramble on of why I don't like this movie that much, but I'm going to tell you why it's not the worst movie. Now, the reason why I don't like it so much, and foremost, is because of how long it is. The hour and 20 minutes long? Are you kidding me? An hour and 20 minutes is way too long for a movie like this. I was ready for this thing to be over probably around the time when they went to the house to make sure this guy was not the killer. Like, if he was at home, if he was not like, he was just not coming into work, and they went to go over to his house to see what was up. And, the guy's dead. I was expecting the killer to jump out right there and try to fight him in the final act. But no, the movie goes on for another, 20 to 30 minutes. It feels like that because the movie just has no repercussion of when to end. It just keeps going. That is probably my biggest issue with the film, but overall the film is just bad acting, and these are just things I already went over. Bad acting, fucking, I'm just cringe-worthy acting, and it never engages you enough to where you give a shit. So when the movie drags and you don't give a shit about the characters, or they don't interest you in the slightest, the only person you're waiting on to come on screen is actually Sean C. Phillips, who only shows up for maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes screen time. Like, he's really hardly in the movie at all, and he's the best part of the movie. It was aimed to fail for me, because it just, when he died, I was like, now I gotta sit through this. And I actually checked how long it still had to go, and I'm not kidding when I'm not even over-exaggerating. It was like another fucking 45 minutes, or another 50 minutes. Like, it was so long, and I just couldn't bear it much longer. Yeah. Honestly, the movie would have been a lot better if it was short enough. Like, if they cut off maybe 30 minutes, or probably cut it off when that house scene came, when they went to go check on the guy, the movie probably would have been as painful if they made that the final act. And yes, the final act is actually probably the best part of the movie. The first act, very slow. They're all just talking. They're all just pretty much hanging around talking, going over to people's houses, having sex. There's not really nothing crazy going on there. So the first act was pretty boring, pretty bland. The second act is when it started feeling a little more slasher realm. Then the third act was actually decently better, but even the third act was really bad, and the execution was pretty bad. The killer, the reasonings why the killer was doing what they were doing was just blah. So unfortunately, the movie overall is a pretty big fail for me. I didn't like it in the slightest. Sean C. Phillips is the only person I can applaud in the movie because he actually feels like he's a part of the tone and he's going well with what he's dealing with. But everybody else is taking it way too seriously. They're just coming off cringy and bad. And they all look older than they should be. Like, all the actors look like they're in their late 20s and not, like, in their teens. So, yeah, the movie, it fails for me, but I would probably give it a solid D on my scale because, yeah, it's not the worst thing I've seen, but God, was it bad. I have no intentions of watching it again, and if I do, it's only going to be for a commentary, and that is it. So, guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. What are your opinions on President's Day? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Or did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. Comment, of course, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.